Skyblock is a vast land with a bunch of different islands, and with the recent Lotus Atoll update, we probably got one of the most useless ones ever. So that got me thinking, what are some islands that are still completely useless in 2026? Okay, as you just saw in the intro, I just had to get this one out of the way. This is probably one of the most overlooked islands of all time. It's the newest one, but look, the servers are already abandoned. I don't see a single person here. I'm not even finished with the update myself, but I honestly just quit because it is just that boring. Like, the content on the island as well, you just have to think about it. All the different lines, they contribute to only trophy fishing and trophy fishing only. Like, for example, the frog pet upgrade, the trophy fishing line, puddle jumper hook, it all just is just a loop that contributes to fishing on this island and trophy fishing on the Crimson Isles, which in itself is no fun. The sea creatures are also kind of repetitive. They don't have any exciting drops, as it only helps trophy fishing, as I just said. So it is pretty lame. It doesn't help you with progressing in things like combat or any other skill. It is just like an island that you don't really need to go to if you want to progress in the game. Like, honestly, you could survive without ever stepping foot on this island. And to me, that is pretty useless. Look, even the shards here only help with fishing on this island. There's no purpose in going here except for Skyblock XP and just completion in general, or maybe making your life on the Crimson Isles easier. So for me, this is like a no-go, bro. This island has to go. 1 month later, I'm starting to realize this was just not that great of an update. Like, I was very hyped for it in the beginning. It's just not it. Like, the content here is boring. There is no fun. It's very repetitive, and it doesn't lead you anywhere forward in the game. So you're not progressing your character in different skills. It's only really trophy fishing and fishing on just this island. And just so you guys understand my point, let's take the Bayou for example. Here we have the Titan Boa, the Tiki. They have two fantastic drops. We have the Snake Eyes, which gives you treasure chance everywhere. We have the Tiki Mask, which is the best in slot hotspot helmet. Like, you can just use it everywhere, not even on the Bayou. And you have the Titan Boa Shed, which also helps you everywhere. You get 2 double chance wherever you go. To the Lotus Atoll's defense though, it is mostly fishing focused. Like, you're not really progressing in other skills just by being here. I guess there are some items like the half-eaten mushrooms that give you like farming fortune on mushrooms, like a very small amount, that tie into the other parts of the game, like a very small bit. But otherwise, I would not count this as like a required update or like a required island to beat to. But I wouldn't call it useless, as it does really help you with fishing everywhere on Skyblock, not just the Lotus Atoll. Alright, time to talk about the next island. This was probably a pretty obvious guess, but it is the barn. I'm mostly including this part of the barn for now. There is literally nothing here. I know the islands are connected as the farming islands if we go here, but also on this island there isn't that much content. Like, there's pretty much only collections which you can like grind from minions. I guess you can just move these to some other island, but besides that, like, I feel like there's nothing really here. There's minion upgrades and collections and a shop that you can use for fishing. So just to start this off, the content here is like non-existent in my opinion, and the fun is also bare minimum. There's nothing fun to do here. I remember this island was useful for grinding animal types, like for the Year of the Witch, you have to kill mobs with the animal mob type, but then later everyone discovered you can just go into F4 boss fight and just kill the mobs there. So this island is just completely useless. There's like the farming, like the garden is just way better for farming. Like, who's ever doing this? You unlock it so early. There's not even a point in doing this. And I don't even know if farming fortune works on private islands. Maybe it does, or maybe it was only on your private island that it didn't work. I don't remember though. There isn't even a quest here. They did say they would add chapters here, so that is, I guess, something cool. But the only redeeming quality is this guy, Moby. He has a cool little shop, but besides this isn't just early game items, honestly, just used for fishing too. This is pretty good, but if you just care about, like, if you don't really care about fishing, you don't really need this. Like, this is a good early game money making method, I'll give you that. In the long term, this island is also really forgotten. I very rarely remember that the first part of the barn even exists. I guess you could make an argument for making it easier to get your medals in the beginning. Like, you can go here doing a Jacob's contest and just like harvest everything. That still is a stretch, as you can't just unlock the garden. You don't really need the medals before you do the garden, so that's just a silly argument in my opinion. Oh yeah, and they did recently revamp this. I didn't even know. Wow, this looks way better. Like, yeah, we have the mangrove strip logs. I did not even realize they reworked this island. Like, was it just this building? Or was it this too? Yeah, it was the strip logs. Dude, I've completely forgotten what the island looked like before. Oh, we have this guy. Are you from YouTube? Yes, I'm from YouTube. Wait. Yes, I'm from YouTube. Yeah, you're gonna be in the next video, bro. Lucky day to be you. Although, I don't really want to write this off completely, as there is a pretty good money-making method from what I've heard, and that is pelt farming. So what a lot of people do is that they talk to Trevor and they get a quest like this. You just accept it in the thing, and you go to the location where the mob is at, and then you go to Talbot and you can buy every single one of these things, whatever you want from this guy, and just sell it on the auction house for extra money. They also did recently buff the rates of pelts. I think you permanently get more, but they removed the Finnegan perk, so now you just always get more pelts. So if you want to make a quick buck early game, just go and farm pelts. Like, this island is great for making money. Otherwise, not really. Like, the pelts are only really a money thing. Besides the pelts, there's nothing really here, except for Jake, which is like a gimmick. You get all these axes, like animal axes that you could put in a museum, but if they didn't exist, they wouldn't really matter at all because they have no practical use from what I know at the moment. So I would write this island off as very useless, but not completely. I don't want this video to turn into me shitting on early game islands, but this one is truly just useless. I do not understand why we don't just go straight to the deep caverns after coming from the hub. I feel like having the gold mines in between just is useless, because this has every single ore, and this has just gold, coal, and iron, if I remember correctly. And Rusty, this guy could have definitely been in the hub or some other island, even on the deep caverns. Like, every single thing here is useless. Like, the mines are utter garbage. There isn't even a single mob here. You can do all of this on the deep caverns. I do not understand why this thing even exists. It feels like just like an extra island to be here just because. I mean, I don't want them to remove it, but don't make stuff like this in the future, because it just feels very useless. I mean, yeah, we barely get islands, so I doubt they will add useless islands in the future. Like, they wouldn't spend this much time on just making some early game extension. You're just here. You're literally here for maybe 10 minutes max of your entire gameplay. There's no reason to come back here. There's not a good quest. You get this pickaxe, which isn't even in the museum. At least in the deep caverns, you have like these accessory pack quests, and you have all the collections, you have all the mobs. You can do hunting for like 40 mil an hour with the miner zombies. There is not even a single mob here, so I don't even know. Okay, boys, I'm gonna be honest with you, this might be a little bit of a stretch, but I do think that the spider's den is completely utter useless, at least from my point of the game. Fishing here does not have any special sea creatures, so it doesn't really make sense to fish here. The bestiary house, I can show you. This thing could be on like another island. I don't know what island, but maybe in the graveyard, I guess. I mean, it is a good island for it. Like, it does exist, so I'll not like say that it's not a good place. This is probably the best place for bestiary, but it's not required on this island. I feel like this doesn't really have anything to do with the island itself. It's just a really bit of an introduction to the bestiary concept, I guess. These skeletons don't really do anything. It's just a flint skeleton, like no special drops. It's just a bestiary slop you just have to do. Okay, but my main point, if you are doing Spider Slayer, you're not really doing it here. So as many of you guys know, if you're doing Spider Slayer nowadays, if you're like above level 200 or anything like that, you're just always going to be on the Crimson Isles doing Spider Slayer. It's way more efficient. The spiders there give way more XP. So every single person I see, they just do Spider Slayer on the Crimson Isles. Like, no exceptions, there's always the Crimson Isles. And that doesn't really make sense to do here, like, honestly. This used to be a pretty cool spot to do Slayers, but like nowadays is very outdated. These give very little XP compared to the Crimson Isle ones. But my main point down here is the Arachne boss. This one is like kind of a redeeming quality from this island. Maybe I'll just kill it with them so I can show you guys the drops. But the boss fight is pretty lame. It doesn't really have much, like, you just tap. Like, from my stage of the game, it's not really hard either. Like, I say this guy died, so it could be challenging for them, but it's low-key not even a skill issue. It's like a gear issue. Yeah, but we just got the Arachne armor. This armor set is utter garbage. I have not seen a single person use it. Spider Essence is cool, but there is definitely better ways to distribute it. Maybe it could be like a Spider Slayer drop. But there we had the Soul String. This item has like one use. Two uses, excuse me. It has the Shriveled Bracelet, which is, yes, it's a cool drop. This could also be a drop from Spider Slayer or anything else. It doesn't have to be Arachne. And the Primordial, and of course the... where is it? Wait, is this not... Okay, trust me, this thing is required to make the Terminator. You need the braided griffin feathers, that's what I was saying. You needed this. So without this item, we can technically not craft the Terminator, but I feel like this item is kind of useless. Like, you could just replace it with something else entirely. Like, it's the only thing that really matters from the spider, like the Arachne boss. You could definitely put it somewhere else and just completely remove this island. I mean, not remove, but we would survive without having this island. That's the point I'm trying to make. But I gotta give credit where credit is due. This is not that bad of a money-making method. So if you're just leeching bosses early game, 160k per, go for it. Like, it's not a bad money-making method. So this is a pretty decent money-making island. I also just remembered one more niche kind of thing you can do on this island. This feature is also really useless now, but when there's a thunderstorm on this island, now it's really sunny, so you can even like imagine there being a thunderstorm. But sometimes the weather gets really bad and there spawns like a ton of toxic slimes, and you can kill them for poison samples. But now that feature is completely useless, as the Bayou sludge, I think it is, in the backwater bayou, another use for the backwater bayou, it's not useless. They can also drop poison samples, so you don't even need to attend these like thunderstorms. Before, I used to make so much money grinding this. I remember I made a new profile and I just grinded poison samples with my friends every like 4 hours. I don't remember how often the thunderstorms were, maybe 6 hours it was. But I came here, shot a bow. I was like with bonzo staffs. Yeah, I was pre-firing bonzo staffs on the spawn locations, and I just dropped these poison samples. They used to be like 2 mil per. If you were back around then, it was super competitive though. So I don't really recommend it nowadays. It's not really good though, because the prices are like in the gutter. I don't think it's worth anything these days. So don't try it. And also the Brood Mother, you get the Spider Talisman, I think. It's like, she's not even spawned, is she? No. But it is low-key also like a useless feature. You can probably get the Spider Talisman from like any other source. Like, it doesn't have to be on this island. But I see how it does make sense. Like, my point is I'm trying to make, this island is not completely useless. I don't think that many islands are completely useless, but it does lack usefulness. And it does lack it doesn't lack content, as you can do Trench Slayer. It is supposed to be an introduction, but in the future, it kind of loses usefulness. Like, I know it's an early game update, but a good island should still have its use later in the game. Like the Backwater Bayou, for example. It's meant to be like the early game fishing island where you just sit and fish and just have fun for forever. And even we endgame players can have fun on the Backwater Bayou. Like, it does make money. We can fish there for jobs. There's no limits to it. Here, it's very limited. Also, since when was the water completely toxic, dude? It's like, I have no clue. Wait, since when was this a thing? But this shit is nasty. What the hell? Also, I just realized, what does this even mean? Island tier 1, island tier 1, island tier 2, island tier 1, island tier 2. Is this like the order of the islands? Like, is the Crystal Hall is like 1, 2, 3, 4? Like the order 1. Wait, so what is the second combat island? Like, it just goes to 3 and then 4. what is these, like, what is in between this? That's my question, because that's pretty inconsistent if you ask me. Okay, boys, but for the end of the video, I wanted to showcase an island that has insane potential. It has every single thing you want in an island. And yes, I do know this island is very end game, very late game, you know, etc, etc. Like, I know it's not an early game update. You can tell me I'm wrong for everything I just said, but in my philosophy, there should still be some usefulness in all islands after you're done with them. I should be able to play on every single island for some reason. There should be a money-making method, anything, just for me to like revisit the island and still have it be good. Okay, but this island has almost everything. It has so much fishing. It even has trophy fishing. It has 2 slayers in Spider and Blaze. There is a dojo. There is mini bosses. There is 2 different factions. There is unfortunately not any chapters yet. They said they would add chapters to almost every single like island, so we'll definitely get chapters. I didn't mention that for any island, so I feel like it's fair to now mention it here too. Bayou has a bonus in having chapters, but I didn't mention Bayou as a bad island, so yeah. And we also have Kudra, which I just got a setup for, if you can't see. Look, this is my Kudra setup. I feel like it's pretty good. I got a maxed out Terminator. Let me know if you guys want to see the video. I still have the recording of me spending like 1.7 bill coins on this setup, so let me know if you want to see that. But yeah, we got Kudra. You can just like play runs. It's very complex in itself, so this like deserves an extra like it deserves extra points. It has like its own run thing, like dungeons for example. Just a very fleshed out island. It has a cool secret quest as well. Like, it is very, very, very amazing. I love this island. There is better islands in my opinion, but this is objectively the best island in Skyblock at the moment. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. I'm really trying to make it big. There's a big edited video coming out very soon. I'm working on it as we speak. I just had to record this video. I had to pump out some content, you know. I really had this thought in my back of my head, so I was like, okay, maybe I should like post a little video, just talk with you guys, like explain my thoughts. Maybe you guys don't agree, put that in the comments. No hate though, no, you gotta be civil. Otherwise, subscribe, stay tuned for future videos. They will be bangers, so you will regret not subscribing if you're not subscribed. With that said, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.